obviously you can wait on Tina to get in here and.
I was wrong.
Okay,
All right, we're up.
pledge allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start out with a public hearing. First public hearing, we create Huntertown ordinance number 2025-015, annexing certain territory to the town of Huntertown.
I can give a little overview, and then obviously you guys can open the floor to public comment. So this is a copy of the ordinance and the fiscal plan in your packet, and we'll have copies available if anyone would like to see it. This is for the parcel of land known as Cascada Bluffs. It was formerly known as Westbrook Estates. It's just north of Cascada off of Cove Road currently. It's 15 lots with 2 outlots. 15 have been proposed and approved to the USD. It's gone through its technical approval process. They've paid their pre-construction fees. I believe they've put in some of their underground utility yet this year. And this is just kind of the first step of the annexation process. The public hearing tonight, there's a 4-day required waiting period for the introduction and the adoption of the annexation ordinance and fiscal plan at your next meeting. There's another 14-day period before it can be recorded and shared with the assessor. And then there's a 30-day waiting period on top of that, which means this annexation, if approved, would become effective late January of 2026.
Questions for council? Questions from the public? Seeing no comment, we'll close out that ordinance. Moving on to the next ordinance, will be number 2025-016, additional appropriation.
That'll be me. As I shared with you at the last meeting, this is a administrative item related to the ARPA funding. At the end of 2024, we should have ran an encumbrance resolution for this money to move the remaining unspent money from 2024 into 2025. Since I neglected to do that, this is the other procedural way to get money into the budget. And so we are moving $120,501.72 of unappropriated ARPA money into the budget to spend and zero out that fund. It is, again, it is ARPA money that we received from the Treasury. It is not taxpayer money at all. Cool.
Do we have to, I just have a quick question. So do we have to submit that back into the governing body?
Yes, so you will approve this later, and then there's an app in the Gateway system that we submit all of our information to State Board of Accounts and to the Department of Local Government Finance. There's an additional appropriation applet in there where all of this information gets entered. We share our if I've got to upload budget numbers, our paperwork, all of that stuff gets up there, and then there's a short window where the DLGF will approve this, and then we're going to know that the DLGF approves this.
So we're going to go that?
Yes.
No anticipation.
No, I think we'll be just fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Council have any other questions? Open up for public comment. Seeing no public comment, now close out the public hearings and move to our normal meeting agenda. First will be approval of meeting minutes from November 17th, 2025 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 17th, regular meeting.
I'll second.
Questions? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Mike Aker?
Yes.
Pat Freck?
Yes.
Tina McDonald?
Yes.
Brandon Cipher?
Yes.
Brad Heide?
Yes. Moving on to approval of claims, general water, sewer, and payroll dated December 1st, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the general claims of general water and sewer and payroll for December 1st, 2025 in the amount of $3,750,122.80.
I'll second.
Questions?
I have one item just to share with you. It is on the bottom of the second page. You will see a reprint of the Three to Landmark Structures LLP. They moved, and they did not tell us that they moved until after we mailed the previous payment. And apparently in Texas, they don't forward their mail, because I received those checks back last week here at Town Hall, about 2.5 weeks after mailing them in the first place. Or these would have been mailed almost a month ago, I think, after the last. So that's over 2 million in total of the 3.7 that you had previously approved this. Those were voided out, so you've got, there was a $4 million claim docket about 2 meetings ago. 2 million of that is now removed and added back to this. So if you're paying attention, you think, wow, they're spending a lot of money the last few meetings. Well, we had an issue with this one vendor and payment being sent back to us, but that is all cleared up and taken care of now.
We don't have any late fees because of that, do we?
They're not charging us. They're not charging us.
That's what I was gonna ask you, okay.
No.
All right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes. Moving on to new business, Huntertown Ordinance 2025-016, additional appropriation.
As I shared in the public hearing earlier, $120,501.72 of unappropriated ARPA funds needs to be appropriated, and that is what this ordinance will do. And you can, there's no requirement. We met the 10-day window from the advertisement to the public hearing, and there is no window from the public hearing to approval. So you can take all 3 steps this evening to approve this as presented.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2025-016, additional appropriation.
I'll second.
Questions? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to consider Huntertown Ordinance 2025-016 additional appropriation.
Second.
I've got Mike Aker on the second.
Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2025-016.
Second.
Questions? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Moving on to Huntertown Ordinance 2025, number 17, salary ordinance.
In front of you is the 2026 salary ordinance. There is, if you go through, there is no change for elected officials or the appointed utility service board. An 8% increase was requested for the town manager, and a 3% increase was requested for all other employees. Yes, thank you. And the items on page 3, the boot allowance, the cell phone stipend, the clothing allowance, insurance benefits, longevity pay, standby call-out pay, and the apprenticeship program are unchanged. The utility service board approved this through its resolution form earlier tonight and is recommending the approval as presented. So, and again, with all of you present, this can be done with 3 votes here tonight.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2025-017, 2026 salary ordinance.
Second.
I got a question. Is there a way that we can split the vote in regards to the salary with the employees and the town manager that we had done in the past when it came to elected officials and then, there's.
Okay, as I've said in the past, the only hurry on this is for elected officials. You can go back and make alterations to individual employees or individual positions as you want at any point throughout the year. And if you wanted to make a particular motion, to leave a section, and I guess, the elected officials are under section 1, the town manager's under section 2, the other employees are in section 3, the part-time is in section 4. So if you wanted to take a specific section or a specific job and leave it open for other discussion, you can do that. You can introduce it only tonight and come back at the next meeting and finish the other 2 readings. There's a lot of different ways you can handle this if you want, if there's something,
Or we can have discussion after the motion.
Sure.
I guess the reason why I asked for it to be separated, because I believe in years past, we had separated that from, one group, section 1, like Ryan described, section 2 and section 3. So I might be off base, but I was pretty sure that we had done that in the past, did a separate vote. Because I agree wholeheartedly that Hannah does need an increase, 100%. I'm just not comfortable with the 8%. And so that's why I was asking if I asked our president before the meeting if there's a way that we can separate those 2 votes from section 3 to section 2 and vote on it separately. Because I would like to definitely give our town manager something, but I'm just not comfortable with 8%. So how we go about that, obviously it's majority rules, so.
Are we having discussion now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as long as everybody's comfortable with the 8%, I don't know why we have to separate it, but if the majority is not comfortable with it, then of course we need to separate it. But I'm comfortable with it.
And the reason why I'm saying about separation is because we have done that in years past.
That's
And
cool.
so since we've got past practices already established,
Sure.
that's why I'm going on.
Yeah, I understand that, we understand that, but if there's not a problem with her getting 8% by anybody else but you, then there would be no need to separate the 2, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, there would be because,
Why?
since I'm in a disagreement with the percentage for the town manager, but agree with the 3% for the.
Yeah, but if you get voted down, it doesn't matter, it's moot. Right? Am I incorrect in that assessment?
And I didn't state this in my motion, but my motion was for as it reads.
Okay. So there's a second, then discussion. Sounds like these just needs to be one sheet.
I just don't know how we could do that since we've done it in years past. Especially when it came to the elected officials.
That's because when Brian prepared it, he did not put a raise in it.
No, what I'm referring to is in years past when the elected officials did not get a raise, but Ryan was, asking for one, and so there were carve-outs during that first time that had happened, and we didn't get a raise, but Ryan, who's an elected official, did, and we had a separate vote, and so that's why, since we have already done that a couple of cycles.
I don't know if there was a separate vote. I just think the motion was to include the clerk treasurer raise as part of the salary.
Yeah,
So let's make a motion to amend it. We can make a motion to amend it and separate it.
Somebody wants to make a motion to amend it, we can amend it, if not, it'll stand as is, it can be voted on.
Well, I'm gonna just try.
So they should vote on the introduction that's on the floor first and then make amendments after it's proposed, or do you make amendments here before they're?
I think you'd vote on you're just at the introduction stage. I would think that you would vote on the motion to introduce, then the motion to consider, and then if you wanted to make a motion on the whole sheet to adopt, and if he wants to make a motion to amend, you can do it at that time.
And now remind me again,
So,
there's the procedure on an ordinance of this type, there has to be, is it unanimous consent of everybody present to introduce? So if there isn't unanimous consent of everybody to introduce, it doesn't go on to the next reading, it goes
It's
to.
just the unanimous consent on the consider portion.
Okay, so if, I know there's a 2/3 majority, so 4 of the 5 have to vote in favor to introduce, and then it's
Then
a
it's
full
unanimous
majority to consider.
at the same meeting.
And then it's 100% to consider at the same meeting.
Correct.
So if Brandon doesn't want to do this as is, you vote down the introduction, you vote down the consideration, and then the adoption comes back
At the next
at the
meeting.
next meeting, and then there's an opportunity to amend what
Correct.
they would vote on before they vote on it, or would they vote on it and then amend afterwards?
No, then at the next meeting, when you're actually voting to adopt it, the motion we made, were put on the table, and then that would be the time to make a motion to amend
Okay,
the original motion, and then if that's, depending on how that goes.
okay,
so even though we've introduced it, it can even be introduced as is, can't be changed. It doesn't go, if we make a change to it, it doesn't go that way all the way through.
Yes, if you made a motion to amend right at the introduction stage, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, that would go all the way through then.
Okay. So I have a motion standing. If anyone wants to make a motion to amend, we can, let's see where that goes.
I guess I'd like to make a motion to amend that we separate the votes and we have a town manager salary vote, and then we have section 3, thank you. Yep, just separate section 2 and section 3. That is my motion.
I have an amended motion on the floor, do I have a second? Seeing no second, the original motion stands. Any further discussion? Ryan, please call the vote.
where am I at? Pat Frack,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
yes,
Brandon Seifert,
No.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to consider ordinance number 2025-017, 2026 salary ordinance.
I'll second.
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Tina McDonald,
yes,
Brandon Seifert,
No.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, without unanimous consent to waive the rules and go to the final reading,
We'll have to
this
bring it
comes
up
back
next
on the
meeting.
15th, and we will take a final vote and figure out any amendments then. Thank you for your help with that, Mike.
That's Mike.
Closes out that one, go to the next one, ordinance number 18, 2025, rezoning of 1519 Hill Road.
alrighty. So this is, as Brad stated, ordinance to rezone 1519 Hill Road. If you scroll past the ordinance document and the notary page, there's a rezoning fact sheet and packet materials as provided by the Department of Planning Services. You guys, I think, reviewed this. I can't remember if it was your first or second meeting in November, but reviewed it and reviewed a letter to submit to the Plan Commission regarding the rezoning petition. And that petition had an 8-0 motion to pass recommendation, which included a written commitment, which is included in your meeting packet tonight, and has made it to your guys' desks for final approval. So this is a rezoning of a parcel from AR low intensity residential to C1 professional office and personal services to permit a multi-tenant medical and professional office park. As I mentioned, again, there is a written commitment that has been reviewed by myself, by DPS, and was also presented to you guys. All of the requested uses to be omitted were included in the written commitment at the request of the town and suggestion of DPS. If you scroll a little bit further down, you can see on the map the parcel that it's located. If you drive on Carroll Road towards Pathway Church, it's that big white farmhouse. The parcel is pretty deep, and the applicant, Gary Brown, is also here to speak on the, rezoning petition in front of you, if you guys have any questions for him.
Is that the, one we voted down earlier?
Nope, this is, 1519 Carroll Road. It's on the east side of the road. If you're heading towards Pathway Church, on the south side of Carroll Road, there's a big white farmhouse. That is the address. The proposal is to rezone from AR, low intensity residential, to C1 professional offices. You can see, the second map, or I guess the third map there shows their proposed depiction of, their primary plan and the future development. I believe the intent, Mr. Brown can probably speak to it more than I can, but the intent is to start, with the parcel at the front, and then as time passes, slowly develop out the rest of it with all that professional office and professional services use in mind. You guys did see this, like I said, in, I believe it was November, for your letter that you submitted to the planning commission with no apparent concerns or conflicts, and nothing has changed since that, except for the written commitment was finalized.
This is the property that we took over, we redid their septic system and put them on.
Yep, it's a little weird because it's on the south side of Carroll, but they are a Huntertown water and sewer customer, which is why they're coming to us.
Right, okay.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2025-018, the rezoning of 1519 Carroll Road.
I'll second.
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call for vote.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brad Height.
Yes.
Make a motion to consider ordinance 2025-018.
I'll second.
Discussion?
I do have a question. Are prohibited uses that we normally put in, like tattoo parlors, all that?
Yep.
I don't see those listed.
Those are not permitted in C1 regardless, so they're not
Okay.
gonna be in the written commitment because they're not allowed by the base levels in Maine.
Okay. That's all I
Further
have.
questions? Ryan, please call for vote.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Brad Height.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2025-018, the rezoning of 1519 Carroll Road.
I'll second.
Tina McDonald on the second,
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call for vote.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Brad Height.
Yes. Closes off the ordinances, moves on to 2026 meeting schedule.
In your packet is the proposed 2026 town council meeting schedule, same first and third Monday of each month with the occasional Tuesday because of Monday holidays. Just looking for a motion to approve, and then I will get this to the media and post in the proper places.
I have a question.
Yes.
This past year, we gave 2 extra days, I think, didn't we? And I wanted to make sure, like, 4th of July, whatever.
Oh, you're talking the holiday schedule?
Yeah.
I can go through this and bring a formal holiday schedule
Yeah,
at next meeting if you wanna look at.
because if it's a holiday, we don't have a meeting, right? So I wondered if
Correct.
that was taken into consideration. when we
The
created this.
government holidays on Mondays fall into this. I don't think 4th of July is on a Monday that would move this, or,
obviously it's on Saturday,
Yeah.
on
Oh,
Monday,
then
it's the
it's-
6th.
Is that the formal, oh no, the formal holiday would be on Friday, wouldn't it?
Are we honoring a different day for that? What?
It's-
I think that's what she's asking.
Okay, so on, the 4th of July is on a Saturday, so the holiday for us is on Friday.
So
When
the
4th of
Monday-
July is on Sunday, the holiday is
Is on
Monday
Monday,
for
okay.
us. So no, it does, 4th of July does not impact this, but I will keep that in the memory bank for next year.
But didn't we just do one here recently?
That was for employee approved holidays, not your meeting schedule.
Oh,
No,
Right,
okay.
right, yeah.
Something's wrong with June.
Huh?
Yeah.
With who, June?
Yeah, it should be June 1
Oh, yeah,
and June
and the
15. Am I correct there?
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks.
Yes, I will get that fixed and. So if you're gonna make a motion with this correction, or I can bring a corrected copy back on the 15th and however you want to do it.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2026 meeting schedule with the exception of Monday, June 8th to be changed to Monday, June 15th.
I'll second.
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call for vote.
Tina McDonald,
Yes.
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Brad Height.
Yes. Okay, that closes out new business unless council has something. Okay, seeing none, we're opening new business, Huntertown Family Park Playground donation request.
At your last meeting, the folks from the park came and asked for a donation. You guys tabled it, took the time to think about it. It's just on here as old business until you guys decide to act on it. So if you don't wanna do anything with it,
I have a question for you. Have you raised more money since you were here? Like, I think the balance was 23,000 yet to,
Yeah, probably about 3 more thousand.
so about 20,000 you still looking for, okay. I have a question, I don't know if you can answer.
you wanna come up, get on the stream so people can see your faces.
And I don't know if you two are the appropriate ones to ask, but how much do you guys have in your account?
For the playground,
For the park in general? An
It's a
estimate.
loaded question,
it is,
only because there's some money that's set aside for pickleball, because that was money that was raised for that portion. So that's still set aside so they can maintain the courts and make repairs.
Right,
I would say an educated guess is $75,000.
okay. And do you have an intended use for that
Oh.
after the playground,
whole parking lot.
the parking lot?
And then some, yeah, we're,
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah, so we are planning this next year to create a parking lot, a gravel lot. It'll be in the middle section, that's why we put up the street lamps. That will cost a lot of money, and there's some engineering feats that we have to bring to that for drainage. And then the other project is we potentially could be adding a second set of restrooms. That's needed not only because of the festivals that we have, with the potentially thousands of people that show up, our one set of restrooms just can't handle it, so.
right.
you know, it's what, $160 a month for one porta john, so we have to get multiples and we can save a lot of money there. And we'd like to put a little pavilion, a little shade structure by the new playground too. That's, so that doesn't include that. Like,
So there's a meeting coming up, correct, on the transition of the park back to the town, and that is this month,
yeah, 9th or
It's the 16th.
10th, oh, yeah,
16.
Okay.
Okay. When's our next meeting?
The 15th?
15th, okay. So I'm sure there's an agenda and of things, on both parties to discuss. So I would, is this money needed by the end of the year? Did I hear that at one
You
point?
did hear me say that, we have to order it and get it shipped by the end of the year.
Okay,
That is what, you know, I
Okay.
haven't checked to see how, I mean, that's what I was told, that way.
right. Okay.
But there's always more, you know, even if that's what it is today, and I mean, I'm guessing the shade structures, I think that's really important. You ever been over there in the sun?
Yes.
And I guess that's probably gonna be what, $78,000 for that, I don't know, I haven't pressed it yet, but
Yeah.
that's. It's kind of like.
So if you don't meet your goal by the end of the year in order to, order it and have it shipped, will you take money out of your checkbook to make up the
Yeah,
difference
For
to
sure,
get,
for sure, we're not gonna
to
come
get through?
we're not gonna come this
The
far and not.
project is- okay.
You know, but we wanted to offer you the opportunity, that was.
Right.
If we don't move forward,
Yeah,
we're gonna lose a $40,000 grant,
Yeah, we can't do that.
Okay,
so.
all right,
That's too-
yep, I agree. I thought about it and, did we create a park fund?
No.
No, I thought we did.
Nope.
It was discussed,
It was discussed.
kinda like after the budget.
Okay.
There was just, I think
Okay.
it'll formulate out of these meetings more
Okay.
to indicate.
I guess for me, it'd be easier to move forward if we had a game plan of when the town does take over the park, so that way we do have skin in the game. And to me, it would be easier to accept, you know, if we had that already established and a game plan of how that's going to work.
Right.
Cause that was my resistance the last time, we was talking about the engineering and the drainage issues, you know, what needs to be done. Again, you know, if we're gonna be investing this much into the park, then I feel then you need to take ownership of it. If we're gonna be investing this much into the park for the future, for our future, I think then if that's the case, then need to see about the timeline of maybe escalating that faster so that way we can start taking over. Because then at that point, that would be easier, just me, 1 out of 5, to be able to say yes for the, you know, drainage, and yes for the engineering stuff, and yes, you know, for this kind of stuff. This would be easier. If we had an established game plan, a timeline, and started to put pieces in place. So for me, that's just my 2 cents.
If I may, the issue that we're running up against as a park now is we are, even though I told you we have $75,000, that's nothing. And the problem is, we can only afford to put in a gravel lot. We can only afford to do these small things. And if you guys were to own this park again, people are gonna expect to see paved lots, you know, state-of-the-art restroom facilities, all that. Especially if you want to compete with other towns in that department. So, I think we've already made that first step we've already reached into our account and paid for this first phase. Now, we have raised a lot of money that's given some of that to us back, but not the total. So, I know 20,000 might sound like a lot of money, but when we're paying out these amounts by just donations, and then we're going out and building it ourselves, to me, it's a smaller amount when I think of it that way. I'll be honest, and we'll get into this discussion when we have our meeting here in a few weeks, but that's gonna be our challenge to this town council, is what bigger picture does the town bring to our park? Things that are just out of our reach as a very small committee, and, you know, selling popcorn and, all these things, that brings in a few thousand here and a few thousand there, but it doesn't bring in those funds that create the spaces that this community needs. And we talk about it all the time, and what's our number one question? Where's the splash pad? Well, there's no way that we would ever be able to.
Out of our
do
reach
that.
right now.
So,
And
and
that's-
I realize that, so.
That's one of the attractions, the amenities that I'm speaking of, that it would be easier for if the town owned it. But,
Yeah, we'll get there, we offered it to have the discussion, so I think we need to have the discussion and work that out, you know?
And I think it's not just, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Was there a private party that was sort of trying to match a certain?
We had that, yeah, we
Was
had,
that the first phase?
we had, no, it was kind of at the end of the first phase, part of the second, so the first match was 5,000. That was anonymous, but I think we just listed it yesterday on, that it actually was, Bill's One Stop, and then there were 2 from Sheets and Childs, so that was 30.
For phase 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of it, actually, yes and no. Part of it was phase 1, because, for instance, the mulch was not part of our quote. And it was
Okay.
12,250 just for mulch, right? So that didn't include all that, so that's a little
Right.
different. There's a lot of the, like, we didn't know what the concrete was gonna be. We didn't know until, the day they brought it.
And I think you have to remember too, that once we finish this second phase, we have a very nice playground for our community, and it's kind of taken it off the town's plate when that comes available to them. And that, to date, that's one of our most expensive projects. It just is. Just because of the quality of equipment we put out there, how much we've expanded that area, and then again for the second phase, and then hopefully a nice shade structure there for the family. So that's, I think, the best part about this for the town is that 20,000 sounds like a lot, but to me, it's a small investment when you take into consideration the entire project and that it's finished when it's handed over to the town. So,
Yeah.
and it's done correctly. I mean, we put the proper drainage in it. We did our best to do it the correct way. So
The ADA compliance on the mulch.
Oh, yeah, that's the engineered
Absolutely.
mulch. It's not engineered playground mulch.
And that's the other thing with phase 2 is that we'll add some more of those ADA compliant play things
Yeah.
for those children. So they are in that, included in that.
So you got the $40,000 grant that went towards this already?
So both times we have been given by this company called Game Time, that's the company for the playground. They have matched up to 50% of the cost as long as we came up with the other 50. So we did that with the first phase, and then we raised the money on the back end because we didn't want to lose that grant. And then they offered that to us again, which I didn't think they'd do for this second phase. And as long as we have signed the papers, I think we already, they're signed, but we have to come up with, order it here in the next few weeks before the end of the year to get that grant. So in total, you're looking at, I don't know, almost $100,000 in grants.
Yeah, we had the community foundation, 25,000.
So, just something to take into consideration, so. And I know last meeting we mentioned the 8,000, that was not to the park, that was to the Heritage Days.
Okay, I'm gonna throw out a number. I'll make a motion to, contribute 10,000 toward the, playground equipment. That's it.
Motion on the table.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Is there a way that we could get a timeline after that first meeting, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, because if we need to escalate us, as municipality taking it over, that I'd rather see us do it that way, so that way we can start doing these process improvements.
I understand.
Because that's my only hesitation right now.
I know.
to move forward.
Is Ryan going, are you on that meeting with us on the 16th?
I don't think so.
I think so, but,
They should be for the finances. That's another
It will be a
thing.
funding concern
If we have,
once, if we do take that over.
Well, that's our question on the legal end, is how does that work? I mean, do we need to exhaust all of our funds for the town to take it over? Does that get transferred to the town? We're gonna need some help on this.
Those are all questions I had.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're willing to be involved in some of that?
Yeah, I don't know anything about how you're set up, but,
it's a 501,
It is,
501c3.
and I just, FYI, I'm talking to somebody now, another town that's done this, so hopefully by the time we meet, I'll have some information about that.
yeah, we haven't set an agenda yet, but I think the goal was, there's a lot of questions on either side. I don't think anyone expected to have them answered in the first meeting. Come together, come up with the questions, and then work to answer them in conversation.
If that's the case, then, may I ask, can we table this for when you find out that fast track of the other communities that you're talking with about how that works? About the town or city taking over the park? And that would give me a better, clear head going into when Mike goes into the next day to that meeting. If you know, they say, oh, it's gonna be super easy and it's gonna be X, Y, Z.
But I think
That's a process,
we're talking.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, I'm sure by then, don't you think that they might get back with you to find out that time? That's what I'm saying, like.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
So
we'll have
then
all that,
Monday,
I really don't
when we
think,
have that
I really
information.
don't think we should be putting this with that, it just seems to me like.
Well, I mean, if you want the towns, you know, to contribute, then you're gonna have to work
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us.
well, we certainly
Yeah,
are,
you
I
gotta
mean.
remember, there's gonna be another side of that coin. We're gonna expect a lot out of the town through this transition process. Because as you can see, we've done pretty well on our own. Now, it's taken a while, and it's been on our backs as we've done the work, but we figured it out. And so when we're in that process, and that's why we said in the beginning, a 3 to 5 year process, because there might be a time where we have a major disagreement and that might get pushed back a year or two. So that's where.
See that, I don't like to hear that, I don't like to hear that.
well, we didn't make it that way.
Have you dealt with
I don't like to hear that.
I think our dedication and our work at the park speaks for itself.
And it does, I agree. I think though, there's a lot of things the town can offer in kind, such as to put the transition together instead of you guys having an attorney look at your side of
For
it.
sure, for sure.
We've got an attorney.
For sure, oh.
You know,
yeah.
we've got an engineer to do the whatever. As, those are the kind of things, that I think we can support. It doesn't matter who owns it, as long as our community has a park.
Absolutely,
Well,
And
we
I
all
really-
are gonna be a part of that, whether you own it or we run it.
Exactly,
Because we'll continue forward with all the festivals and all the great things that happen down there.
right. It's just, it can move forward quicker.
Sure.
With the town owning it.
And then we'd also have to establish a park board,
Right,
and then, yeah, just like with the USB, we'd have to establish a
Yeah.
park board that would be management over the park itself.
yeah. And I think there's a statute for when a municipality owns a park, I think there's a statute that drives all of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think I got some notes, I think all these are questions to be discussed.
at the
as things go
meeting,
forward,
okay,
yeah,
all
for
right,
sure.
Well, and last time we were here, we did discuss that 10,000 number. And that's kind of where we were at, I think I mentioned that at the end.
yeah,
To me, that's a good step in the right direction. It's not too much going forward that if something were to take a little longer than we thought, you wouldn't feel so bad about that number. And then again, it accomplishes that goal of creating this great play space
right,
that'll be open in the spring of '26 and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
right. And I got that number from some of my counterparts here. I know I think donated 10,000 toward the fireworks to the, 8 to the Heritage Days.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
8,000.
And I think that's enjoyment, but I think that's throwaway money, cause what do we see today? You know, we have memories,
Very true.
but
Well, it's just an
this is
investment in our community.
solid,
That's what it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
I just, with your comment that you had said that maybe there may be a disagreement and between the town. So how do you propose then, if you guys are already struggling as it is now, to be able to, you know, come into the council for money, then,
We're not here for that reason.
Yeah, and I don't think
I
we're
don't-
struggling.
We're not.
I
We wanted to
understand.
afford you the opportunity to be involved. You know, if a business owner says, how much to get my name on a plaque?
yeah,
I'm gonna say $10,000.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've had a lot of community members donate 2 and 5 and 1 and 10 and so forth. I'm really tired of fundraising. I wanna move on and get this thing done and start doing something else, because
Right.
there's always more, right? So,
And we get the comments all the time, that you guys did that down there, that's
Yeah.
Huntertown's Park, and that's,
I really like
That's
to,
fine, it's
I
no
really
issue.
like to say thank you to the town of Huntertown for this donation to support our community in this park. Because people go, what? I thought they owned it. And I don't get them
that
talking.
happens.
Oh, we talk all the time, people walk into our ground all the time, well, the town doesn't own it? No, and you gotta explain it, and so it's just, that's another reason.
yeah.
Selfishly there, because I'm tired of talking about it. Just saying.
Well, and think of it this way too, if that were to be voted on tonight, that amount, what a great way to kick off our talks. And this is the first step towards a great transition, and we want that transition, that's our ultimate goal.
We have a motion on the floor for 10,000 without a second.
I second that.
Sorry, a second, sorry. Further discussion? Ryan, please call for vote.
Brandon Seifert.
how much do we give Heritage Days?
10, oh, I'm sorry, 8.
I would really like this to be tabled until, or that Monday meeting before, but
Our
Like I said,
meeting is
the Monday before
the
my,
program.
right, but I'm saying by that time, I thought
Oh,
that Sherry would be able to get the information of how other communities are.
Well, and that could be a process, could be a foundation involved with that, it could be a whole lot of things, but
Yeah.
yeah, I should be able to, but regardless, we'll work it out, however it's supposed to be, right?
I'll say yes, since we did give Heritage Days 8,000.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
yes,
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brett Hyde.
Yes.
thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Okay, moving on to BS&A software upgrade purchase.
At your last meeting, you had a presentation from Parker Bright with Boyce on the new software program. We wanted time to just kind of let some things marinate. Utility board did approve, the utility side of the expenses to move forward with the program. So just bring that back to you for you guys to decide on if you wish.
So we're looking for a motion to go with our portion of the upgrade for the software.
Yes.
I make a motion to pay our, the town council's portion of BS&A software upgrade purchase.
No second,
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call for vote.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
yes.
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Brett Hyde.
Yes.
Did, the USB vote on this, did I miss?
Yes,
Your
they did.
comment on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless council has otherwise, I can bring it up to council member reports, that closes that whole business, that moves us to council member reports.
Just one thing, I think I sent this out to you guys on email, but, Martha had asked if, what our thoughts were about obtaining a cleaning company
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
for the town hall, and she obtained a couple of quotes, and, she sent them to me, but, I will probably start sending those out here real soon for us all to look at and review and, find out which contract is best, and she does her the ins and outs of all that, so just look for that soon, it's coming, because I was just talking to her today.
I have a question. The last I knew, Tim had extra time and was doing that.
he was coming in and we were paying him overtime to clean.
On Friday.
Okay,
That was prior to my time, but that's how I understood how
Right.
that happened.
and why does he not have the time?
I don't think he's interested in it anymore. I think, my understanding, Ryan can probably, or you guys were here, my understanding is he was doing that, Beth made the call that, Beth and Rosemary, I think, made the call that cleaning could happen in-house in the utility office, and Beth's office handled it. The girls, I think the reason they asked for quotes is they feel like they don't have that capacity with Rosemary being on and taking on a lot more between the three of them, and so that's why it's being farmed out for quotes. I haven't seen any of the quotes, but, from what I've overheard from Martha reviewing, it would be less expensive to the town to have a cleaning service come than to pay an employee overtime, because Tim is, he is a utility one, which is the highest paid employee in our, because he has those licenses. I don't wanna, I'm not saying that's 100% sure, because I haven't seen the quotes, but that was based on what I've heard from her.
Any other council members?
So who's cleaning right now?
We are,
It's not
Yeah,
as, there's not as much free time, without Rosemary in the office. She just, her 25 years of experience meant that things got done faster, and, you know,
Yeah.
there wasn't as much catch-up time and everything like that, and the girls were taking on some additional tasks, so, you know, Ryan, I think
I slept,
today,
I slept
Ryan
in
and Martha
here and out the
were
hallway
Yeah.
tonight, and I take care of the men's room every day, and
we vacuum and take care of it, but, there's, you know, like windowsills and mopping, and especially in the
Right.
winter, that work isn't
There's
getting done
certain,
regularly.
I think she's gonna have it spread out to where it's like weekly duties, monthly duties, annual duties.
Okay,
You know, or every 6-month duties, which gets down to like, you know, the wood floors and
Yeah, the
stuff, safety
Yeah.
and stuff, so.
yeah, okay.
All
I
right.
just was curious, cause it looks nice, whoever's
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
It's nice that it's dim.
it. Yeah.
no matter what gloves on.
Closes out council members, resource officers, I don't see any present. Clerk treasurer.
I've got two items. Number one, I shared with you in email this afternoon, the attorney invoices and the latest, not to exceed spreadsheet. Based off of what was there for you guys, there was $365 left. And based on the amount of time he sat here listening to us tonight, he's probably close to running through that already, for the rest of the year. So I don't know if you guys want to entertain any kind of a motion to extend the, not to exceed amount by, I don't know whatever you guys might think is worthwhile, or do you just give the attorneys December off?
Mike is 5, if we increase it by 5,000, would that cover, I know there's probably gonna be questions coming out of the meeting between the park and the town on,
One of that,
do you have other things going right now?
the lift station reimbursement agreement.
That would be a sewer related thing, that wouldn't be a town council issue.
Sure.
Sewer water easements, that will be
Utility related.
utility related. Anything with the annexations?
Yes, I just got a petition today,
Okay.
so figuring that out, but I think other than that,
What about,
annexation apart,
is there anything with Dunton? That annexation?
that is that one.
Oh, okay.
Petition.
Make sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a guess,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's 5,000, yeah.
Or I was gonna suggest 7,500, just to make sure, because you're only gonna bill
You know,
what you're doing,
right,
and then, you know, that last meeting, you wouldn't need to come back.
right.
Is there anything?
The not to exceed, I mean, it's just, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's difficult for me to estimate, because I don't know what's gonna be.
I know
Sure.
some could pop up.
What, when I have to look at something.
Are you
I mean,
correct
the
with 75?
the bulk of November was on an issue that doesn't hardly ever pop up
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
You guys are at 7,500, and billing with the prices.
That's what we're trying to do, make the motion and
Yeah,
let the vote go.
okay, I'll make a motion to increase the attorney's MTE by $7,500.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Pat Freck,
Yes,
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
And then the other thing, Randy brought me some quotes, this stuff is in the budget for next year, but, some of it's a little bit different, the pricing's a little different than, what we had planned for, not by a lot, but there were two pieces of equipment, there was a gator that he was going to purchase and a roller he was going to purchase, and we budgeted 45,000, for it for next year. And the two combined up to, the one was 11, and one is 33 and the other is 11, so all told, it's a little bit more. He just wants to approve, it was $600, $650 more than what we had budgeted for. He wants to lock in 2025 pricing before the end of the year and things change. But we have $45,000 budget for the two pieces of equipment. The line item that covers this totaled $60,000, and these were the only two things that were listed on your budget to purchase out of that line item. So we're still gonna have roughly, 14 to 1,500 still to, 50,000 still to work with in an emergency situation for equipment for the streets next year.
I'm okay with locking and having Randy lock in those prices.
So, I can pass these down if you want. The first piece is a John Deere Gator, $33,021.73. And then there's a roller, is this an attachment for it?
Yeah, that's here.
Yeah. And it's actually it looks like it's a $13,500 piece of equipment that we're getting for $11,567.86.
Do we have a gator right now? No.
The reason I'm getting a gator is because I'm stuck doing the trail, and I'm tired of taking the truck down there, people bitch, holler, we gotta take the saws, we gotta take sprayer, so that's what I'm getting a gator for.
For the trails?
Yeah, cause it's not gonna go away, and we can drive it in town, I can spray stuff around here.
Okay.
That's the big one that's out there.
You could use that for.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
Sure.
I got a golf cart.
Someone need a motion for an additional $600 be appropriated, $650 be appropriated.
And nothing more needs to be appropriated. There's plenty of money appropriated for the two pieces. It's the motion to lock in the prices that are here on the
Oh,
quotes.
yeah.
I make a motion for Randy to lock in the prices for the Gator and the roller as presented to us at council for the 2025 prices.
No second?
Discussion? Seeing none, Ryan, please call the vote.
Tina McDonald,
Yes,
Brandon Seifert,
Yes.
Mike Aker,
Yes.
Pat Freck,
Yes.
Brett Height.
Yes.
Will we have to also approve our portion for the film, the camera and the scope, since that was on part of ours with the stormwater?
That's my next piece of, basically, they didn't approve this, they were gonna wait on this,
They're
right?
waiting on for next.
Oh, I thought they.
No, they didn't approve it, so I'm gonna email this out tomorrow. There was a quote here, and we're gonna check with Brown Equipment to see if the quote still holds, it's old. But he wants to get a push camera to help with the inflow and infiltration problem, the sewer. We can run camera and water lines if we've got leaks, that sort of thing, and he thinks we can use it in storm sewer on your guys' side of things. I'm gonna email this out to everybody, let you review it, and I think the utility board's gotta come back for an extra meeting on the 15th for the attorney engineer decision for next year on those RFQs. So this is, Tony wanted to, and he talked himself out of it. So I'll get this sent out to everybody for you to review, and it'll be on your agenda for, the 15th. Outside of that, I have nothing else to report tonight, thank you.
Town manager.
Alright, a couple of things. First, big shout out to Randy and the street department and the water department and our wastewater staff for plowing over the weekend. Looks like we might have to get out there and do it again.
Yes.
But they did a great job, with the heavy snow it fell a good amount of the weekend. First things first, I wanted to give an update on the, yard waste site. So the slats they actually came in late last week, I think on Wednesday, towards the end of the day. So those have been, they're at the street department, obviously it's not the best weather to put them in. But additionally, Randy and I have spoken with the, compliance inspector for this region, of item. She has looked at photos of the site, talked with Brett Bloom, who came out and visited the site, who owns Sturt Wayne, which is a composting facility in Huntertown, has spoken with both Randy and myself, and she does not believe, then she's spoken to her supervisor, to the head of the composting department within IDEM, and they do not believe, IDEM does not believe that the activity at that site is constituted as composting. They view it as a residential yard waste site where material is collected, mixed, and then hauled off-site. So they say everything there is fully in compliance and we do not need to file for a compost permit. They reached out to the homeowner, and IDEM themselves reached out to the homeowner and let them know their decision. They just told us if anything changes in our activities there to let them know. They don't view the current activity and current use as composting. So I let the surveyor know, and he still had not finished the survey despite my many emails to him, which ended up working out great because we won't have to pay him for the legal description of the property. And I have a half put together application if we ever decide to compost. We received a letter this afternoon from INDOT. They did not award the town the 2026 call for community crossings. I will forward you guys their letter. They received an enormous amount of applicants rather than having the 2 calls spread over a year. They just had the 1 call for 2026. So I will forward you their letter, and I will work with Ryan and Randy to talk about how that plays into the budget for next year. If you want to hold off on the street project and apply for it in the future application cycle, if you want to postpone some roadway projects and have the CCMG application take its place instead, we'll talk through it all and honestly put it to you guys for final decision. Sorry, I have a lot of things, random things. The Sweets with Santa event is next, I want to say it's next Friday, December 12th. Let me make sure that's right. Yes, next Friday, December 12th, from 5 to 8 p.m. at Fire and Ice. I think 3 of you guys last year volunteered for it, and I wanted to see who was interested in doing it. Same thing, they provide the table and the tablecloth and Santa, and then I think we handed out candy last year, cookies. So I can say it's similar last year. I'll buy everything and have it set up on the table, but wanted to see if anyone was interested in manning that. It's the next Friday, December 12th, from 5 to 8 p.m.
I'll be out of town.
I'd like to have one, yeah.
Cool. I think 2 or 3 is probably it's a smaller table.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will let them know. The redevelopment commission appointments, those are gonna be, I put this in my report, those are gonna be on your guys' agenda for your next meeting. 3 RDC members are appointed by the town council executive, and 2 are appointed by the town council themselves. If you're interested in me posting something to solicit applications for that, I'm more than happy to do so. If you'd like to do it how it's been done in the past, with having existing members continue on their annual term, just wanted to put it on your radar that will be up for appointment at your next meeting. It's a mix of executive and then full body approval. And then the very last thing is the interviews for the RFQ for town engineer and town attorney. I think some of you have your score sheets for me. I'll grab them from you before we leave, and I will waiting on still a couple, but I will total them up when I have them and send you guys the final rankings. I posed the same question to the USB if they prefer to have interviews or not. They kind of wanted to see what the rankings were, but I think Brian posted it, is if they don't have to interview, they prefer not to, I think is kind of the sentiment we got.
Yes, Tony wants to see the scores, and if he thinks there's a reason to interview, he's interested in interviewing, but if the scores indicate that there are a clear choice for both, attorney and engineer, then why interview if there's a clear choice from everybody?
And I agree.
So that would push the timeline again, cause ideally probably would have the scores in front of you tonight to be able to make a decision, but because I'm still waiting on some, maybe I can send them out and then you guys can make your decision on the 15th, but then that would push award until the new year, cause you don't meet again until January.
Can't you
So-
do it a week earlier?
Unless we do a
You can hold a
special
special
meeting
meeting
for
at the
just
end of
that.
the year, right, it would be the week of Christmas, so probably check your guys' calendars. Or, just, you know, I posed a question to USB, you can vote to interview the top 2 applicants, you can vote to interview anybody, the questions to you guys, you can vote to interview no one. It didn't say in the RFP that we were going to interview candidates, the question is posed to you guys. Tony did, or the USB did decide that if you decide to do interviews and decide to have a committee rather than an executive session, Tony would be the representative for the USB, but besides that, they kind of left the decision up to you with their input that, if the interviews weren't necessary, they would prefer not to hold them. Okay, sorry, make sure I understand, so you wanna see the scores and make a decision on the 15th with potentially holding a special meeting at the end of the year?
Yep.
Okay, that is all I have.
Engineer was not needed tonight, attorney.
No report.
Report from the attorney, this is the public comment, if you have public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address, keep your comment to 3 minutes. No public comment, closing out public comments, next will be adjourned, our next meeting is December 15th, 2025, can I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourned, thank you. Aye.
So, do you think the USB needs to hold a special meeting on the 15th? Because we're
They
not
want to approve,
interviewing?
if they want to approve an engineer and attorney for themselves, then probably yes.